Hi, this is Peter Corrales from Corrales Law Group, and today we're making this video because USCIS announced the renewal process for DACA applicants on June 5th of last week. So we're making this video to inform people about what the changes are, what USCIS has told us about renewals, and what you'll need to be sending in order to renew your DACA after the 2-year time period expires. Now, here are some of the key things. Who can renew their DACA according to USCIS? Well, what we know is that in order to qualify for a renewal, you must not have departed the United States since August 15th of 2012 unless you had advanced parole, which means that you applied for permission to leave the United States. So you must not have left without permission since August 15th of 2012. Also, you must have continued to reside in the United States. We all know this was one of the requirements for initial DACA. So you will have to have been in the United States since your DACA was granted unless you had that permission. Also, the criminal requirements. Since your initial DACA was granted, you must have not had a felony, a significant misdemeanor, or 3 misdemeanors, which were the requirements for the original DACA petition. If your criminal history has changed, USCIS has requested that updated evidence and information regarding those criminal history charges will need to be submitted with the renewal application. One of the good things that USCIS announced is that that is the only type of evidence that will need to be submitted for a renewal. This is surprising to us because we expected them to want information regarding the education requirement. If the person was, for instance, in school during the initial application, we all expected them to want updated information, but they specifically said they not want more education evidence. The only type of evidence that needs to be submitted is criminal history. Now, the form was released on June 5th, so it's up on uscis.gov, the website, for free. So please don't pay for the forms only. If someone's helping you prepare them, they may charge, but the form itself is free. So please, we'll put a link on the video. It's uscis.gov. The new form is available now for initial applicants and also for renewals, which brings me to the application itself. Now, part 1, the very first question is whether the form is being used for initial application or for a renewal. Now, this is important because there are some sections that only need to be filled out if it is initial application. So once you check off whether it's initial request or renewal, you go down. The questions are pretty straightforward, very much like the last version of the form. I'll go over some things that have changed. In part 1, there's a part that asks for processing information. Now this asks for some new information like ethnicity, height, weight, eye color, hair color. This is new to this form. So fill that out according to your own biographical information. Part 3 is for initial request only. So if you're submitting the application for a renewal, you do not need to fill out part 3. And then the rest of the application still needs to be filled out, updating information. But again, you don't need to submit any evidence except if you're one of the people that have had updates to your criminal history or removal proceeding history since your DACA was granted. Now, along with the I-821D, you will need to submit the 765 and the 765 WS just as you did for your initial DACA processing. The few differences in that application will be that now you have an A number if you're submitting a renewal, so make sure you fill that part out. There will be the 465 fee still applicable because of the cost of the 765 along with the biometrics fee. So that will need to be submitted with your renewal form. Other than that, we're very glad that USCIS has released this process. Make sure that your application is submitted 4 months before your DACA is set to expire, but no earlier than 5 months before it's set to expire. This is a very short window, so you really need to be careful and be looking out for that time period to submit the renewal application. It's very unusual for USCIS to do it for this type of form, but please make sure you submit it 4 months before your DACA is set to expire. If you have any questions regarding this renewal process, you can leave comments on this YouTube video or you can email us directly at the address listed below. You can also contact us through our website or call our office. I'm Peter Corrales. We'll be making more videos in the future if anything changes with the renewal process or if we see things developing. But for now, this is all the information you probably need to go ahead and renew your DACA. And thank you, and we look forward to your comments.